thanks to the Adam Mickiewicz Institute and all the organizers for such interesting and inspiring conference. Also thanks to the chance to present our experience in the public program of media archive called UNARCHIVING. But can we go to the beginning? Sorry. So, UNARCHIVING as an attempt to overcome the challenges of digital archive. When we invented the term UNARCHIVING, we were playing with the world's archive and anarchy, willing to make something provocative and wild in opposition to the academic world and the state archives. And in Ukrainian, it sounds like rozarchivування, and like I hope it also makes some sense in Polish. Чи то мені по-польську розархівування, чи робить якийсь сенс. So the UNARCHIVING is the public program of informal presentation of archival collections of urban media archive to promote and mainstream the problems of archives and archival heritage in community. It's like aims to shape the new attitudes to the archiving and present the historical collection in an unusual perspective. Well, it's like became a bit formal anyway since we started it, but still we are like trying to question some academic boundaries of the academic world and the boundaries of what is archive. But let's come to the beginning of the problem to understand it better. So as Bogdan told previously, the urban media archive was like keeps forming like more than a decade as a digital archive and working and focusing on the marginal collections, but trying to serve for the academia and trying like to promote the academical research in the field of urban history, like the urban studies and also visual studies. And this archive actually consists of 4 parts. It's the photographs, moving images, and maps. Those 3 blocks are what we are digitizing, and the 4th block is oral history. Is like created digitally collections of oral history which are done on some research focuses. And as soon as all the materials were collected and digitized and also described, because like this description is a very important part of the process, like to make possible to navigate the archive with all the data and so on. It's like the huge effort was done, and we got like a lot of visitors on our web page and talking to it's became the kind of successful stories if we are talking in numbers and visitors of web page, but it was not enough for us because our goal was interact with the academic world, so at least locally, and we got some attention from the researchers, but the problem was like the researchers are mostly asking us about some pictures to illustrate something, like how some, I don't know, building was looked like and so on, or just to get some picture for the book cover or etc. So it was not enough for us, as we were willing like to we were considering our collection as something bigger and wanted to extract some like bigger knowledge from it as a historical source, not just as an image and like to use it passively. So, and the problem of this is lies like in the poorly developed theoretical approaches also in visual studies, but and also in our academia. So the question for us was like, is it really cost that much effort to make this archive and to have it like just some illustration? And we are trying like to use it as a picture and how we can make it alive and used more by a bigger community. So that's the problems that a lot of smaller archives and variety of archival initiatives are facing with. What is next after everything is done and everything is digitized? So, like with reference to this conference, how to make this archive alive, and what we have done, it was kind of experiment. We started thinking of another way and on another audience by using the Center for Urban History experience in public history. So by organizing the events, working with the students and other institutions, and also the exhibitions, that didn't mean that we are refusing like the academic part, but we are trying like to get like some wider field and wider audience for our archives. So UNARCHIVING for us is the variety of non-academic formats trying to be more informal with dealing with the archive. It also wide audience, and it's not supposed to have any historical background, and participation of local communities, and also the collaboration with artists and the filmmakers. So I will continue with these formats, but showing you our first the case of our first event and first screenings that we have within this program, and it was inspired by the archive of well-known in Lviv hippie and artist called Greg, who was a photographer and also the activist who left the huge archive of the 35mm slides of where he documented the community of Lviv hippies. It was very important, and also the format of watching slide is like the kind of public gathering when the people are using the projector, and so we are trying to reconstruct it digitally by inviting his friends to prepare the music for the event. So we were listening the music, his favorite artists and songs from that time, and also watching the slides in our courtyard at the Center for Urban History. And it's what we done is we gathered a lot of people from that community and from that time, like the old Lviv hippies and so on, and also a lot of young people who had totally another image of the Soviet Lviv in that time. So it was pretty warm atmosphere, which finished with a lot of memories and stories about that time. Talking about other formats of our archive, we are dealing with exhibitions. Also, we are preparing the screenings for the European Heritage Days, which has each year it has its own topic, which common for all the Europe. So we are trying to give some lectures and showing the materials from our archives. Also working with schools, and also preparing some more artistic works for the conferences. For instance, like 2 years ago, we had the conference Ins and Outs of Socialism, which was about the socialist experience in the city. And for this conference, we commissioned in the video artists in Lviv to create the work out of our archival material of Oleg Voronko, and he created his work which called Time Forward, and it's his reflection of the socialist experience of the city. And we were screening it together with the film about Lviv from 1960s, and they were contrasting each other at the closing ceremony of this conference. Also with Oleg Voronko, we started working with the artists, and we have the yearly commission for the artists who are working with our archive, and also we have the residents with the British Council called SWAP, and each year the artists from the United Kingdom are coming to our center to work with the archive. And also, since we started such public events, we became visible for the film industry. And for 3 years, we are working with the Wizard Film Festival in Lviv and preparing the program for them for the festival. And also, Lviv Film Commission announced in collaboration with the Urban Media Archive announced the competition for the filmmakers who were working with the archival footage and preparing their films. So we got two films, which called Lviv Intervision, and also Wonderful Years, which were traveling a lot on the festivals last year. And the last our commission is the film The Tree, which we are about to see today. It's film done. It was our commission to the film director Oleksandr from Kyiv, and I will introduce you this film later. But another very important part of our identity is the International Home Movie Day, which gives us possibility to work with the local community and also to work with this kind of concept of marginal archives to get the unique findings and also like to actualize the local history. So each year we have the open door days when people are bringing for us their 8mm films, 16mm films, and VHS cassettes to digitize it for free. That's how we are collecting the home movie collection at the archive. We are digitizing them, and then we are organizing the screenings of these materials. People are presented it, and it's became like pretty success, and it's also influenced on and changing the people's mind about their footage, because previously they didn't identify these films as something valuable for them, and now they are taking care of these films and very happy to have it. So summarizing all this, our unarchiving program makes our archive living and actualizing the problems of the archives in the city community. It helps also to preserve these materials, as people are not throwing out the films, are starting taking care of it. And also we are, as an archive, uncovering new materials for us, and have very unexpected findings. And also we got the diverse audience, which we are working with them and promoting the local history questions and so on. So, and the production of new contents, since we are working with the film industry and the artists. So thank you so much, and I'm giving the floor to my colleague Natalia Otrishchenko, who will present one more case about the unarchiving program and her way to dealing with it and with the oral history collections.